Okay, hey guys, welcome to the live. I actually just got home and I was like, first thing I see is the Nancy Grace interview. So if you've already watched it, all the power to you. But for those of you who want to watch it again, including myself who hasn't watched it yet, that's what we're going to be doing is watching this. Anyways, hi Nona, hi Angel. How are you guys? Let's see. Hi Lily. Hi Kelly H. To say some highs quickly. Hi Mr. Electric. Let's see here. And Elizabeth. Yeah, you just listened to it, eh? Well, you know what? Never hurts to listen to it again, tell you that. So yeah, sometimes you miss stuff in the first one. And like me, I will watch things over and over, depending on there. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I just got home. Was with my husband over there at Walmart. Anyway, actually it wasn't too bad of a trip. I waited to watch it together. Sweet. Hi, Manhunter. Manhunter. Whatever that is. Manhunter. So, that's what's coming to my head. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, to be honest with you. Okay, so you know what? Let's just get right into it, to be honest with you. Again, as people come in or whatever, I couldn't wait. It's okay, Elizabeth. Had I known, well, no, I probably would have sped up the Walmart trip, to be honest with you. But I wasn't sure. I was going to come home and I was just about to check, when it was on. But like there's a 3-hour difference. I'm not sure what time Nancy goes on, if she's Eastern or she Eastern or Central. Not sure. So I was just going to go look. I just got home from Walmart with my husband too. Wow, there you go. Twinsies, right? How much did you spend? Ours actually wasn't too bad. I needed to get a few clothes, just a few clothes and a pair of shoes for my new job, whatever, on Wednesday. I did not that I really needed it, to be honest with you. Anyways, that and some groceries. It was like $277, so not bad. Normally when we leave Walmart, it's like freaking like $500 to $700. But anyways, it was just kind of like, okay, we need that. Okay, okay, let's go. Anyways, like to know others' opinions. Yeah, okay. So you know what? Like I said, we'll just get started and get into it. And yeah, I'm curious. Is that where they were taking their camper onto to go sit there? Well, no, they're in their camper right there, obviously. So maybe they're sitting over there in Memphis and stuff like that. Oh, Easter things. Yeah, no. I know my husband. I can't. I'm diabetic, so I really can't have too much chocolate. But my husband loves chocolate. Even though the chocolate in England's better. But anyways, I'm just like, you don't want any chocolate, and he's like, nope. But I'll tell you, then he'll go waste freaking $5 at one of the more expensive stores because he always likes to have his little chocolate and cookies and stuff like that. Okay, so without further ado, let's just play this, guys. Let's see what they got to say. And yeah, so that's big. I'll take myself off screen here and welcome you guys. And again, if you guys could, perhaps just, if you guys could hit that like button again, share it with all those other people that don't realize it's on as well. And maybe they'll pop in here as well. So anyways, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a lot silkier and smoother. Okay, so I'm going to take off the banner as well, just so it's not distracting from the actual. We want to enjoy every bit of this here. So let's hit play. I actually hadn't watched any of it, even though the thing was showing it was over here. I was just skimming it for a second.
Can you imagine what must have gone through their minds? First of all, I want you to hear what his bio mom, Katie Proudfoot, says. Listen.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes.
The volume is as high as I can put it, guys.
3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I can't find him. He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
Can't find him. Where is he? And in the last days, we learned that the official law enforcement search is actually scaling back. This as TikTokers and YouTubers are flooding the area, conducting their own searches. Listen to Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy, Sumner County Sheriff's.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night. Look for any details that something has been disturbed. If there's a shirt that was there today that wasn't there yesterday, notify us. You can really help us by searching your own property twice a day. Like I said, we're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off, and we really need your help to ensure that he is brought home safely.
We are trying to determine what happened when this young boy, an autistic young boy,
I don't know why her show's so
seemingly
low.
walks out of his own home in the middle of the night, we think barefoot. How did that happen? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on SiriusXM 111. We've read a lot online. We've seen a lot of theories, a lot of speculation. But let's start with what we know to be true. Joining me right now, an all-star panel. But first, I'm going to go to two special guests joining us, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother and his stepfather, who were in their home with Sebastian when he goes missing. To both of the Proudfoots, thank you for being with us. I want to go straight back to when Sebastian goes missing. Miss Proudfoot, I understand that the day before, which would have been Sunday, if I've got the information correct, that you guys went out, you went to dinner, you went to somewhere, I believe you said BJ's, where he had a, quote, colossal popcorn. Then you came home that night, and around 9 p.m., you tell Sebastian to go to bed. He says, okay, he goes to his room. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That night, I understand from previous statements you've made that you went to bed around midnight. Is that correct?
It is.
And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, did you also go to bed at midnight or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time because we were on the phone together.
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
You were not home.
No,
okay.
ma'am.
So where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
How far away is that?
3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep.
And what were you doing in Memphis?
Working.
Where do you work?
I'm currently working, or was working, at the St. Jude Children's Hospital construction project.
Yes, I'm very familiar with St. Jude's. You said you were working there. Are you no longer working there?
Right now, that's up in the air.
Well, you've been gone ever since Sebastian went missing. So I understand. When you are home, do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a 3-bedroom home?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your room as it relates to Sebastian's room?
It's on the opposite end of the house. The master bedroom's on one side, and the other 2 bedrooms are on the other side of the house.
Okay, so your master bedroom is on one side of the house and Sebastian's room is on the other side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you have a 3rd bedroom that I believe you keep for your other daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Faith? Is your other daughter named Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where is Faith's bedroom as it relates to Sebastian's bedroom?
It's in the back side of the house. Sebastian's bedroom is
So
in the
it's-
front side of the house.
Okay. So his bedroom is away from Faith's bedroom and away from your master bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Sebastian's room on a top floor or a ground level?
We have a ranch style house. It's a 1.5 story. So everything's flat. And then you have the bonus room above the garage.
Okay. So his is on ground floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That morning, was there any sign of a break-in through a window, a front door, a back door, a sliding glass door, anything at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No sign of forced entry. Was anything taken from the home at all?
Not that we could find anything. We couldn't find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a Ring doorbell cam?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Those questions out of the way. Was Faith in the home when Sebastian went missing?
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
No, ma'am.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep?
They have a big pen.
A pen, is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they on that night?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's
Yep.
2 lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh, yeah, those are on.
Oh, there's a light above the garage. It's on at all times?
There's 2. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was
Yes,
trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the 2 flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that 2 flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
You're
Yes.
very correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive a Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
And sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So your Infiniti SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Miss Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
About the make and model of the vehicle.
I have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
Why is that? If it's out in the driveway where people can see it, why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
Have you asked?
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody's asked us
So
that
that
question.
was-
to be honest with you.
Okay. So you have a work van. Question to you, Miss Proudfoot, what do you do for a living?
I am an installation technician.
That night, was the work van blocking your driveway? Could someone go in and out of your driveway?
The van is parked at the back of my driveway, so someone can pull in, yes.
Got it. Do you park your Infiniti SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With the clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to know a code or have the clicker to open it?
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use a regular key?
There's a code.
And he knows that code.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. I'm just trying to figure out how he would have gotten out, or if somebody came.
Okay, you guys, I am going to pause that for 1 second because I am effing pissed right now. I'll tell you, that effing liar. He is an effing liar. Okay? This was his post. Okay, you guys? This was his post. Have you both taken polygraph tests? And if so, what were the results? Yes, and the results are passed. Yeah? How did he answer Nancy Grace, guys? When Katie answered, did she pass? Yes. What did Christopher Proudfoot say? He said, I haven't taken one yet. Okay? I haven't taken one yet. That guy's so full of shit, it stinks. Can they really possibly stack shit that high? I know that he just lied about that. Right? Yeah. Oh, that freaking fake ass. Freaking lying fake ass. Where's Sebastian, dude? Freaking ass liar. Anyways, for any of you guys that didn't catch that or didn't know that he said he passed the polygraph test, you know, exactly. And you can tell when he answers too. It's almost like, you know, isn't that funny when he's in front of someone like Nancy Grace? You know, it's like his little tail's between his legs and he's like, because we can't to divulge that. Anyways, fucker. Anyway, sorry. When he said that, I was like, you freaking ass liar. All right, let me go back to it, guys. Freaking ass liar. Freaking ass liar. That's huge. That is huge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's like that. That is huge that he tried to portray that to the public that he passed. That freaking lying ass. All right. Let's go back to Nancy. Let's listen to more lies out of his mouth.
Came into the home. Could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not. Do you lock your doors at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
He could. Yes, ma'am.
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors. Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were hoping, that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha. I want to go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was. Yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage, a crate inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night, because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier, you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there. Go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Front.
Front. Do any of your neighbors' ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it. After it gets so dark at night, they can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on
the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not. No.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
And Mr. Proudfoot, when did you leave town?
Early February.
So you had been gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct,
Weeks.
ma'am.
Had you visited home since you left?
You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th, the morning I was told that he was missing.
1 second. For anyone just coming in, we're watching, of course, the Nancy Grace one. But for anyone watching right now, I just want to point out, because I'm still pissed about this. He said in a post that they both took the polygraph test and they passed. What a freaking last liar. Because he admitted to Nancy he didn't take a polygraph test. She did, but he didn't. Oh my God, you guys. Like, seriously, that is huge. Huge. Okay. Just so anyone coming in right now.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
Oh my God, is he lying again?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates.
Oh, shut the fuck
But
up.
I had
Dude.
been home multiple times prior to February. And then I left early February and then didn't come back till February 26th, the morning he was missing.
So you were not home from the time you left early February till Feb 26. Is that right?
Correct, ma'am.
It's not allowed to give dates, my ass.
Where were you living in Memphis?
I have an RV trailer that I stay in at an RV park.
RV park. Okay. Following back up on that morning, you search the home, Ms. Proudfoot. Then you get in your vehicle and you start searching. Did Sebastian know how to drive?
No, ma'am.
Was your car in the same location when you woke up that morning as it was the night before?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your car been searched by police?
Multiple times. Yes, ma'am.
Have scent dogs looked at your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
Okay. Question. Who called 911?
I did.
You did.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
And had you guys been talking on the phone before 6 a.m. or did you initially call Mr. Proudfoot at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
Have you guys been out looking for Sebastian?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We were given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Proudfoot?
No, I'm not going back to work. Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Okay. When will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
Oh my God, spare me, these two.
I've got a question for you.
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
to find
Yeah,
out
Elizabeth, you did.
about Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot,
one-
to Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie. Sebastian had gotten in trouble. He got caught lying. And I had asked him, I said, hey, you got to have a punishment for this. He says, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So I gave him a swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes, one swat.
What did he lie about?
Honestly, I don't remember at the time, but it was probably something dealing with school because that's majority where his issues lie.
Did he have other issues at school?
Some behavioral stuff, but nothing too crazy.
What kind of behavioral stuff?
He has a hard time. He's like awkwardly socially like blending in with students. So it's a little, he's trying to figure out how to do it, but respecting people's space. He gets a little too close. And then kids don't really accept that too much. So it kind of causes an issue. But he'll not stop and he continues on. So then it causes an issue. And instead of being honest about it, he'll lie like, no, I didn't. Okay, Sebastian.
We're lying about doing
Was
work.
that the first time? Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
When was this?
Years ago, ma'am.
Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand how that turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint. How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS service call.
There were other CPS reports, right? Were they regarding your other child?
There is one in regards to my daughter that I know of out in New Mexico with my ex-wife and myself.
What happened?
At the time, my ex-wife had fled to New Mexico with my daughter. We're going through a custody and a divorce case at that time. And at the time, when I'd call and try to check in on my daughter, I could never reach my ex-wife at that time. So a welfare check was requested. Law enforcement told me to call CPS if I had concerns. So I called CPS. Law enforcement did make a welfare call, and that was it.
Then how does that turn into a CPS complaint against you?
I have no idea, ma'am. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now in regards to my New Mexico case that actually has no relevance to the Sebastian case.
Then was there even a CPS complaint against you in New Mexico?
Not that I am aware of. And my attorney and myself are well educated on my case, and there's nothing that we know of.
Was there a TRO taken out against you regarding
Yes,
your daughter?
ma'am. Not a TRO, but a TPO.
A temporary protective order. Why was that taken out?
So in regards to that case, my ex-wife had a TPO put against her in Tennessee at the time. When we went to court, that got dissolved. I was ordered to hand my daughter back over to my ex-wife at the time. She gets in a truck. She fleds to New Mexico. 2 days later, she files one in retaliation.
Is it still in place?
Taylor, point
No, ma'am, that was
0.6
trucked
miles.
within, I think, 2
0.6.
weeks of it being put in place.
I've got a question about the belt incident. You're telling me that was the only time that you ever hit Sebastian with a belt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also telling me that did not make it to CPS?
No, ma'am, that did not.
Question
Yes, ma'am.
regarding Faith's furniture.
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
days after Sebastian goes missing, did you replace furniture in Faith's room?
No, ma'am, I have not replaced any furniture in my daughter's room.
Is there any new furniture in the home?
Yes, ma'am, there's a bed that was given to me and it's currently in my garage.
Has anything been taken out of the home?
No, ma'am.
I was curious about a statement that Miss Proudfoot made earlier that canine dogs hit on the barn around the home and near a retention pond. Did that happen?
I'm not sure about the barn, but the retention pond, yes.
Because law enforcement says the dogs did not hit, but Miss
There's
Proudfoot
been
says they did hit around the retention pond.
So there's been a lot of miscommunication in regards to what is and what is not. To help clear that up, law enforcement has actually spoken directly with me, showed me a few things. What I can tell you is from day one, there was 5 dogs that started the scent for the search. And then after that, from the next 8 days out from that, there have been dogs from all over the country that have come in and done searches and had scent hits in various locations. But I would say a certain percentage of them tend to go toward the same spot, which would have been a retention pond.
So the law enforcement dogs did not hit on the retention pond. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they did. There was at least 3 that I know for a fact that did hit on the retention pond.
And the pond has been drained, correct? And there was nothing there.
Yes, ma'am. They have walked it, drained it, and there's nothing. The retention pond was only knee deep anyways.
On one occasion, Mr. Proudfoot, you stated that you and Mrs. Proudfoot have been, quote, vetted and cleared of foul play. That was stated on Chronicles of Olivia. Is that true? What do you mean by that?
Yes. So after working with law enforcement of all agencies, they have actually told us that there is no foul play, no nefarious issues. We've been cleared of all wrongdoing. We are working extremely cooperative with all law enforcement agencies at any point in time that they've called, come to the house, anything.
Was Sebastian angry or upset before he disappeared?
No, ma'am.
Not to my knowledge.
What is your theory about where is Sebastian?
I wish I knew where he was, to be honest.
Your theory.
I think it's possible that someone has my son,
Why?
because I feel like if he had been close to the house or had walked off, that we would found him by now with as many people as we had searching.
Have you checked his social media?
He doesn't have social media.
Have you checked his phone?
His phone has been thoroughly checked. Yes, ma'am.
Have you handed your phones to police, both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Has police searched all of your devices, your laptop, your iPad, everything?
Everything. Yes, ma'am.
Other than you, Miss Proudfoot, who is the last person that saw or heard Sebastian alive the Sunday before he went missing?
Two of his aunts, a cousin, and the staff where we had dinner.
And that was at BJ's the night before or the bowling alley?
So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after the bowling alley, we went to dinner before coming home.
I want to follow up again on the dogs hitting. Earlier, Ms. Proudfoot had stated the dogs hit around the house, the barn, and at the retention pond. Is that correct?
I don't know about the barn, but I do know that they did track to the pond. Yes.
Did the dogs also hit around the house?
Yes, ma'am.
On the outside of the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Were they scent dogs or cadaver dogs?
They brought in both cadaver and tracking dogs.
Which dog hit, a cadaver dog or a scent dog?
Scent dog.
It's all been scent dogs that have hit. The cadaver dogs have not hit on anything that we know of.
What do you believe Sebastian was wearing when he disappeared? And would that have been what he slept in?
Yes. So the clothes, the black sweatpants with the white stripes and the long sleeve black shirt, that is what he went to bed in. And the reason that I believe he was still wearing those clothes is because when we searched, I did not find those clothes in the house. So I have to assume that that's what he was still wearing.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Did you say that's what he wore when he went to bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Joining us right now, in addition to Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot, the bio mom and stepdad of Sebastian, an all-star panel. First to Brian Trasher joining us, Vice President of the Cajun Navy, who has joined the search. Brian, thank you for being with us. Who asked you to join the search?
Well, we had deployed a team up to Nashville, Tennessee last week in response to the missing college student, Riley Strain. And we stayed up there until he was found. While we were in the area, we had a lot of people reaching out to us on social media saying that there was a young boy who had been missing for several weeks that was only about 20 miles away from where we were. So we talked to a few people, got some information, and decided to deploy part of our team that was already up there to Sumter County to investigate and see what we could do to help out.
You went on your own. Were you asked to join?
We were asked to join. I'm not sure specifically who.
Yeah, Seth did. Seth asked.
We get requests all the time, and we'll reach out. We'll try to get either a family member or a close friend of the family, just so we know we're talking to people connected to the family. And somebody had reached out and asked us to join since we already had assets so close to Sumter County.
So just to clear that up.
Tell me what you
The
have
guy
been
from
doing, Brian
Cajun
Trasher.
said
Everyone
Seth
with me, the VP
asked them.
of the Cajun Navy, who has joined in the search. You can find them at CajunNavyRelief.com. Brian, tell me what you guys have been doing.
Just real quick, the United Cajun Navy, we're the original group that everybody hears about. There's other groups that use the Cajun Navy name to try to fundraise off of our efforts. Cajun Navy Relief is not affiliated with us at all. We are www.unitedcajunnavy.org. We're the original. We're the real ones.
Again, what exactly have you been doing on the search?
So we've had our own canine team who's already participating in the search for Riley Strain up there searching around. We've talked with the lead investigator with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Agent Simmons. We've talked a lot with him and trying to coordinate efforts because we always try to coordinate law enforcement, make sure we're not getting in the way, duplicating efforts or putting out any.
You know what, Mr. Trasher, let me just cut the chase here. Isn't it true that this weekend, pursuant to your search, that cadaver dogs hit in an area that had been closed off because of a prior hurricane, and it is on federal property? Bones and other items were found at that time. I found that very odd as it would relate to Sebastian. Even if it was Sebastian, his body would not have been skeletonized at this time. Can you tell me now that what was found over the weekend is not connected to Sebastian? Yes, no.
No.
Not connected to Sebastian.
That's correct. That hit was not connected to Sebastian.
Okay. Joining me also, in addition to Brian Trasher, who has been leading the Cajun Navy in its search for Sebastian. Hold on, Brian. Other than those hits, have there been any other dog hits in and around the home or elsewhere?
Not from our canine team.
I'm very concerned, Brian, as you can imagine, because LA law enforcement has stated there were no canine hits outside the home. which I find very, very disturbing. Because if he had gone outside, particularly barefoot, there would definitely have been a scent trail. Now, we're hearing from the Proudfoots that there was a hit around that retention pond. How far is that pond from your home, Mr. Proudfoot?
Less than probably half a mile if you walk the whole path.
Is it through wooded area? Would he have had to walk through the woods to get there?
No, ma'am. You can actually walk either the main road or the subdivision. So the construction site is a subdivision, new addition that's being built, and they have a road that's going to be tied into our subdivision. So you could actually walk up that way, or you could walk to the main road and walk into it.
Did Sebastian ever sleepwalk?
No, ma'am.
So he would have had to leave the house undetected by Katie and walk all the way to that retention pond. Did the dogs follow the trail a half a mile?
Yes, ma'am.
They followed the trail all the way to that retention pond?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very curious, as they are saying the dogs didn't pick anything up. Back to you, Brian Trasher. Did you guys search anywhere other than that federal property where the false positive was? Yes, no?
No.
Joining me is Courtney Lasky, high-profile behavior analyst, autism expert, chief clinical officer with Little Starts Therapy. Courtney, thank you for being with us. At this juncture, we know Sebastian to be most likely with people he doesn't know, if in fact he is still alive. How would that affect a young boy with autism?
It would affect him greatly. Based on the diagnosis of autism, we know that they typically have deficits with communication, social skills, and they display some rigid and repetitive behaviors. If, in fact, he is with someone else who does not know him well, that would be entirely out of his routine. He could be engaging in behaviors he hasn't engaged in before. He could be looking for an escape. He could be looking to get out of those aversive situations. We know that not every autistic individual will wander, but those who do wander, 36%, it's to get out of an aversive situation. It's to get away from something that's overwhelming or overstimulating to them.
Ms. Proudfoot, does he know your phone number? Can he call you if he could get access to a phone?
We have gone over my phone number. I don't know that in a high stress time he would remember it, but yes, I have taught him my phone number.
Was he ever allowed to go visit friends' homes?
He didn't get invited, but had he been, yes, we have had play dates in the past.
Would he go there on foot?
No, ma'am.
Joining me now is Lauren Conlon, investigative journalist, host of the Outlier podcast, host of Corruption, What Happened to Grant Solomon. And you can find her at laurenconlon.com. Lauren, thank you so much for being with us. What can you tell me about that stretch of road, if anything, between Sebastian's home and that retention pond?
Well, look, Nancy, I mean, I think like everything else about this case, it is very confusing because the public hasn't heard much from the police. We haven't heard much from the Proudfoots, obviously, when it comes to that, or Seth Rogers. And now I'm learning a lot here as I hear Chris Proudfoot say, okay, we can't speak about this because of law enforcement. And now with the Cajun Navy coming in, I think a lot of us are very excited that they are going to basically canvass this road. And they are actually telling civilians to hang back. Nobody needs to search this anymore. You need to stop. You need to stop helping and let us work with law enforcement and take over. Now, I called the Sumner County Sheriff's Office yesterday because of all the misinformation going around. And I got to be honest with you, they didn't even know what was going on with this road, with the recreation search. They were either very elusive or they were very confused. But either way, it's very concerning because the people, as well as myself, I don't live in Tennessee. I cover a lot of Tennessee. We are very concerned for Sebastian. We are very concerned. And so,
okay, so let me just stop you right there, Ms. Conlon. Ms. Conlon, everyone is concerned, but let me remind everyone that law enforcement is under no duty at all to tell us or anybody else, including the Proudfoots, anything. They are not representing the Proudfoots. They are representing justice, and they will do what they have to do. The fact that they're not giving us a blow by blow is their business. Does it mean they're stymied? I don't know. Does it mean they know more than we think they do? I don't know the answer to that. But just because they're not releasing an ongoing investigative file is not a concern to me. At this juncture, I'm collecting facts in the best way I know how. Now, regarding that route from the Proudfoot home to the retention pond, is it your understanding, Lauren Conlon, that there were no hits by scent or cadaver dogs along that route?
Correct, Nancy. It is my understanding there were no hits from the dogs.
It is very confusing. It's confusing. You know, sometimes, Lauren, when we try to put together a puzzle, but we're missing a few pieces and we don't know what piece we're missing, you can't put the puzzle together. We're missing things from this puzzle. And right now, I'm on a fact-finding mission. I am pointing the finger at no one because I want to find Sebastian. I want to go to Dr. Jory Clausen joining me. And guys, again, please, Proudfoots, Trasher, Lasky, Conlon, jump in if you have a thought or you want to contradict, because a lot of this is elusive. We don't know everything. To you, Dory Crossan, joining us, former law enforcement, now faculty, St. Leo University, very well-known psychologist and author of Operation SOS. You can find him at drjory.com. Dr. Jory, thank you for being with us. Many people have made much of the fact that when interviewed, the Proudfoots do not look at the camera. They look away, they don't cry, and they don't seem upset. Now, that may or may not mean anything. People can be very upset, crying, screaming, cursing. They may show no emotion at all. They may be numb by the time interviews are happening. I'm very different. When I talk about my fiance's murder or I talk about my dad's death, I still cry, even when I swear I'm not going to. But everyone reacts differently. I'm going to throw this directly to Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot. Much has been made. I'll ask you. You very often look away, don't look at who's asking you questions, show no emotion. Much has been made of that. And I'd like to hear your response. I'm not judging one way or the other. I'd like to hear your response.
So the fact of not looking at the camera all the time is because a picture of my son is sitting beside me, and I'm looking at him. As far as the crying thing, I have been crying off and on nonstop for a month.
Many people have asked me, why did Miss Proudfoot not call 911 immediately? And here's your chance to answer that.
Because by the time I realized my son was missing and I called my husband, at that point I was hysterical. I was at the point where I couldn't even form words anymore, and my husband is the one who remained calm enough to call them.
And to be honest with you, Miss Grace, the way we live outside of city limits, so you don't call 911 because you get routed to a dispatching hub who asks what's your location, and then they route you to another dispatcher to talk to give this story. I cut all of that out and I called straight to the sheriff's department because they have jurisdiction of where we live. So sorry that I decided to bypass a few steps and go straight to the source, where they responded within 10 minutes of the phone call being made.
Miss Proudfoot, that evening, were you drinking?
No, ma'am.
Had you used any type of drug at all, even OTC, over the counter?
No, ma'am.
And you had no argument with Sebastian that night?
No, ma'am.
You stated you put the dogs away into a crate before you went to bed. Is the crate located near the exit, near a door?
No, ma'am.
Would the dogs have barked if there had been an intruder or if Sebastian had left?
The dogs don't typically bark at me and Sebastian because they're used to us. Even if we get up, we come around, they don't typically bark. Strangers, they do tend to bark, at least for a minute or two to get attention. But no, ma'am, they don't typically bark at Sebastian and myself or Christopher.
What kind of dogs are they?
Morkies.
Question, where is their crate located?
In the area near my sunroom.
Over by the
In
kitchen.
your son's, okay, hold on. Is
No,
it
son,
outside
not
your
son.
son's room?
No, ma'am, not
Sunroom.
Sebastian's room. Son, yeah, yes, ma'am.
The sunroom. And that's not near the door?
No, ma'am.
Not near the front door.
It's near my back door, but not any of the other doors.
Yes, from what I've seen the layout of the home, it is near the back door, and they would have heard someone coming in and out that back door, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No barking. Do you have a chime or anything on your doors that would alert you to the door opening?
No, ma'am.
Miss Grace, could I jump
Question.
in for something?
Yes, please. And I want to follow up with a question
Yes.
regarding Miss Proudfoot's polygraph. But please, Lauren, jump in. Everybody on the
Thank you.
panel. Now is the time to ask the Proudfoots any question that may shed light on what has happened to Sebastian. We are not in a judging arena. We are in a fact-finding arena. We can then assimilate the facts and make deductions. Please jump in. Lauren Conlon is
Yes.
joining me. You can find her at Lauren Emily Conlon. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And now this might be for Brian as well. Yesterday, when the dogs hit and everybody's going crazy, YouTubers, internet, TikTokers, and we figure out it's not Sebastian and police are not involved, the TBI is not involved. Did you call the Proudfoots and let them know that this was not Sebastian? Did you tell them ahead of time that you were searching these areas? Did they know what you were doing, or was it specifically just through Seth Rogers?
Yeah, so Seth Rogers is Sebastian's biological father, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he was there, and as Ms. Grace alluded to earlier, it would not have been typical or possibly even probable that you could have skeletonized after only a few weeks. So I'm not sure about the Proudfoots, but his father definitely did know. Also wanted to echo what Miss Nancy said earlier about the police. One of the reasons we got called in, there was a lot of social media personalities reaching out to us, kind of complaining that they didn't feel like the police were doing enough. But really, it's just what Ms. Nancy said. It's that they're not under obligation to give daily or every other day updates. They are doing an investigation. We have been in very close contact with TBI, and I can tell everybody with 100% certainty they are on top of it. They are not letting their foot off the gas at all on the search for Sebastian or trying to find out what happened to him. The YouTubers and TikTokers that do live stream probably do the most harm. We appreciate the attention that they bring to things, but when you do a live stream, you don't have any control over what gets seen by potentially the entire world. So we would, we can't tell people what not to do. They have free speech. It's their own accounts they're using. It's not helpful to do live streams during searches like that. If you want to do a video that you can potentially edit later, so that we cut down on the amount of misinformation. That's why social media is not necessarily a house. We go in and do search and rescue. You have to trust the process like we do. We trust law enforcement is going to have this wrapped up probably very soon.
Brian, however, I want to make sure that you are not encouraging citizen sleuths to stop looking, because I've had many cases where we put out the warning and they actually spot a missing person. I mean, I only have to point to Gabby Petito, whose remains were found in dispersed camping way out west by a citizen who had heard about the case. So, sometimes their information is wrong, but there is no way in HELL that I would ask them to stop. And I know that's not where you're headed. Yeah.
No, we don't want them to stop. Matter of fact, it was 2 citizen sleuths that found Riley Strain's bank card out by the bank of the Cumberland River in Nashville. So, like I said, they do provide service. My only suggestion was maybe not doing live stream, maybe just video, and then you can edit and post later. Just a suggestion.
Hey guys, I don't want to see anything edited. I want to see the whole thing. No edits, no airbrushing, the real deal. But that's just me. I want to go back to Katie Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother, Miss Proudfoot. What questions were you asked during your polygraph?
I was asked if I knew where my son was. I was asked if I hurt him. I was asked if I had hurt someone, among a few other questions.
And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
And you're headed back to Memphis right now. Are you in your RV right now?
I am in my RV. We are not disclosing our current location just because of safety reasons, due to the YouTubers, the Facebookers out there that have sent some very heinous, threatening information and things of that nature, threatening to be outside of our house, all kinds of nasty things. So we're not disclosing our location at this time, unless you're law enforcement.
Ms. Proudfoot, is that one of the reasons you left the home?
One of them, yes, ma'am.
Question to you guys. When police came in and processed your home, did they look with, for instance, luminol? Did they check? What did they do when they searched your home?
They thoroughly searched my home with many different things. They removed some things for the dogs to hold the scent, and for Sebastian's DNA. I know that they used thermal
night
vision. Thank you. And I don't know exactly all of the tools that they used, but I do know that multiple different searches were done on my home by many different people, detectives, sheriffs, and a few others.
Yeah, I wouldn't swear that the forensics folks showed up or not, because there were so many folks in and out of the house that it was just, hi, I'm so-and-so with law enforcement. I'm so-and-so with law enforcement. Okay.
Every time they've said we need to look, please do.
Does Sebastian have a hardwood floor or a carpeted floor?
In his bedroom?
Carpet.
Yes. Carpeting.
Carpet.
Did they remove any carpeting?
No, ma'am.
Do you feel confident they searched his bathroom?
They did.
Yes, ma'am, they did.
When you state that they removed items for the scent dogs, what did they take?
Clothing, a blanket that he used like every day, and a few other items of his, toiletries, like his brush.
Lauren Collins joining us, investigative journalist. Lauren, again, thank you for being with us. And earlier you were hearing sound from WSMV4. I understand you have another question.
Oh, I mean, I guess I didn't quite get the clarity I wanted, in the sense that, did the Proudfoots know that this search was going on with the Cajun Navy? Were they being called? Were you guys being alerted about this? Did you hear from a YouTuber that they found something, that the cadaver dog, or I'm sorry, the search dog started jumping? Or, were you just kind of blind to all of this? Just, over in your corner doing your search?
No, ma'am. So here, to set that record straight and help the United Cajun Navy. So somebody's got a picture out there saying that we were enjoying a dinner when we're actually out there, got flyers at a dinner table because we needed to eat. My wife was on the phone with the Cajun Navy. That's how the Cajun Navy was brought in. And we talked to the president of the United Cajun Navy. He put us in touch with their team that was here locally in Nashville. Then that young lady reached back out to us, gave us some more information. We gave her some more details. Then they said they would start a search, but we also had them get in direct contact with the TBI agent, as well as Sumter County's Sheriff's Department. We provided all that information. They reached out to them, got some information. They pushed outside of the areas that had been searched already, conducted a search. Somehow or another, they linked up with the bio father, who supposedly got a tip from somewhere. Whether or not it was credible or not, we don't know. But it led them to searching on federal property without permission, which is where we had been informed at some point that there was allegedly a hit on something, but turned out to be nothing. And they were asked to leave the property immediately, or the cops were going to be called, because it was trespassing based off of a tip that the bio father received.
Yeah, to Brian Trasher, VP of Cajun Navy, let's clear it up. Isn't it true this is on federal property that had been closed off? It was a hurricane site earlier. It was also, yes, thank you. And it was also near railroad tracks, and some homeless people had been living there, and apparently one of them had died. And we believe that is what the dogs were hitting on. Is that correct?
Yeah, all the above is correct. And we did not gain access to the property. It had already been open when we got there. I'm not sure how entry was gained, but yeah, everything above it that you said was correct.
Guys, the search for Sebastian goes on. If you have information, if you know or think you know anything about this beautiful young autistic boy, please call TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, 800 TBI, fine, T Tennessee B Bureau.
I will leave it there for a minute. So we'll come back to that for a sec. We'll come right back to this, okay, guys? I just want to show you something that somebody just sent me on TikTok. Where is it? Come on, where are you? Where are you opening up to? Right there. It's just like a clip here. For anyone following this at all.
At this hour, coming into our newsroom, federal Homeland Security agents and other law enforcement officers are searching 2 sprawling homes belonging to Sean Diddy Combs. The homes are in Los Angeles and Miami, and this is all part of a sex trafficking investigation. Now, it's not clear if Combs was the target of the investigation. They are his homes. An attorney for Combs didn't respond to requests for comment at this time. There have been multiple sexual assault lawsuits filed against Combs in recent months, including a lawsuit from singer Cassie that was settled last year very quickly by Combs. Another of Combs' accusers was a woman who said that he raped her 2 decades ago when she was just 17 years old. Cassie's attorney released this statement saying, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct."
Every word that YouTube hates, probably should have listened to it first. Someone had just sent me that one in there. I know a lot of people are following that. Okay, now let's go back to Nancy. We'll leave this up for Sebastian on the window there. Okay, on there. Okay, now I'm definitely going to have to go back and listen to this again because at some point during the live, I got a phone call from my job that I'll be starting. So I had to lower it. And I was just like, no, I'll see you on Wednesday. Don't have any questions. No, take care. Have a good one type of thing. I was just like, really? Anyways, okay. So what was anybody's biggest takeaway from this interview? I need to go back and listen to it again because I know what they've said and I've missed some of what they said because of that phone call. My biggest takeaway is going to be, why would you lie about the polygraph test? Why did you tell the public, you a-hole, that you passed the polygraph test with Katie? That, right? I showed you guys the Facebook post he put out. And then when Nancy Grace asked him, he sat there squirming like a little freaking coward. And then all of a sudden it was like, no. Right? Because he knew he couldn't bullshit, but yet he bullshitted to us. Why would you have to lie if you got nothing to hide? Why? Do you think he was doing himself favors and we'd never find out? Right? Like, that is huge, the fact that he lied. Because why would you lie? If you took a polygraph test? Oh, I've been offered one. You know what? Bullet holes everywhere with that guy when he speaks. You know, I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt, you know, and I'm still not going to jump to the conclusions. I'm still going to go back to the facts, just like Nancy Grace is saying, right? Why can't someone, one person, just one person ask, you know, I tweeted out to Nancy earlier today, ask Katie where she was when during that phone call conversation, because they made it seem like she was in the living room, that she was tired. She was talking to Chris for whatever hours or whatever it was. Why can't one person say to Katie, where were you, you know, at the time that you were talking to Christopher? I just can't believe that nobody has asked that yet. You know, because if you went out the freaking front door, right, there's two huge things that she would have heard him or seen him, considering he would have to come out of his room. It pisses me off because I wanted that question asked so bad, right? Because there's a back door, there's his window, which is at the front of the house in his bedroom, and then there is, of course, the front door that they said is locked. So if she's sitting in the living room, why is it so hard for somebody to ask that question? I don't get it. Like, why is nobody asking? You know what? Get your ass on here, Christopher Proudfoot and Katie. I'll give you hard questions too. But Nancy did good. Meaning, you know what? She still could have done better. Could have done better, Nancy. No, there's definitely still some questions in there. Darn it. I was really hoping, because I tweeted that out to her this morning in hopes that she would ask that. Hey, everyone. Yeah. But it was a good interview. She was on a path for facts in a sense, but you know, with Mr. you know, liar there who claimed he freaking passed a polygraph and then admits to Nancy that he didn't. Like, why lie? You know, in my humble opinion, Sebastian left the house because he didn't like his, you know, my opinion has always been that Sebastian left the house. But after it's been like a month now, would Sebastian really want to be gone from his parents, including his dad? You know, there was a thud, according to Katie, at 10 o'clock. What happened then? Was it the thud of a window going down? Thud? Because there ain't no big ass bush like freaking Chris is trying to talk about. Well, if he went out his window, he'd land in a... Okay, JLR literally just drove by the house the other day. Okay, we're talking a little freaking midget plant that's away from the house, meaning that there's a nice spot. So what do you mean this big old bush is going to poke him in the butt if he goes out his window? It could have been it literally could have been that the thud was the window, you know? I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to have my opinions when it comes to Mr. Christopher Proudfoot now that I know he's a big ass donkey liar. And the thing is that I've been trying to give them benefit of doubt, but you know, once you literally lie, and that's a huge lie. Okay, a polygraph test is a huge something. That's a huge something to lie about. That there's no evidence that he left the house. She said she talked to him. Maybe when his head was out the window. Yeah, no problem, Mom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Why wouldn't the dogs have picked up the scent? That's what's so confusing about this all, right? Because if there was footage, so she leaves the house pretty much about, say, 10 after 6, quarter after 6, you know, to zoom down, you know, around and to the school, and then comes back. And during that time, that's when she says Christopher Proudfoot is calling, you know, the sheriff. You guys notice the sarcasm? Well, sorry, I decided to bypass everybody and, you know, call the sheriff because I'm just cool like that. He's such a narcissist. Right. Well, I mean, to me, it was a very obvious catch. Anyone that had seen that post, and I thought most people had, which I had, I assume that everyone knew that he had said, like, or that at least most people knew that he had said that. So the minute he said he didn't, I was like, wait, what? You little effing liar. You watch him squirm there? Yeah. This child didn't walk off, and if he did, someone would have seen him. The whole no, you know, well, you know, there is something missing. I'll give it that much. There's like something that's just like, there's something that is totally, you know, missing from this. And I don't know what it is, but you can feel it. You can just feel like there's that something is not right, obviously. Like, I mean, I know we know something's not right, but you know, when you just keep getting that overly nagging feeling that there's something that we don't know that's stopping from knowing the truth, you know, because for this child to decide that he's going to change up his whole life, you know, not take his meds, not take his money, not take his phone, not take anything. Where all did she drive in the morning? To the basically around the area and to the school. About 10 minutes. The lady that has the camera watching her house, about 10 minutes. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that starts on Wednesday, so we'll see how it goes. At the start, it's like 8 to 4, just for training purposes for the first couple of weeks and whatever. Then I work like Sunday till Thursday. Yeah, but I think the shifts can vary. They open at 6 a.m., so I'm not sure what my shift will be there. I think it's on a rotating thing, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, she said she drove that morning. Well, she said she drove that morning on the Chronicles of Olivia. Again, these people keep adding a bunch of different stuff, you know, in like in this interview, they say that and this and that, and they say more, blah, blah, blah. I'm amazed that Nancy said, like, didn't say, like, where did you actually eat dinner? And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that in the Olivia one, she said bowling. Or did she say, she said bowling first. And then she said they went to BJ's and came home because they bought snacky foods. And then they went out to dinner. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. Actually, let me go look because I should have that open. Because I was taking all. Thank you, Mark.
Super chat, $9.99. Thank you. Good luck with the new job.
Thank you. I won't say the company that I'm working for, but I will say it's a customer service representative at the head office which is somewhere close to me. I'll put it that way. So, meaning it's right up my alley, right? One other thing. Hello, this is Sunny. How can I help you today? No problem. Because that's what customer service is, yeah. I know something here a lot. I really need to listen to this again, and really compare the bullshit to the actual facts here. But lying about the polygraph is huge. You little effing liar, Christopher. And if that was your sister in the chat the other day, Michelle Proudfoot, I like how she did not contact me. Not like I seen a Michelle on the list of your family and friends, but could, chances are it probably was. Who else would defend him, honestly? But anyways, yeah. Miss Big Mouth Michelle Proudfoot, if you're watching this live right now, how come you don't get your wuss ass up on the panel and tell us about your woes of your poor brother, Christopher Proudfoot? Just a big mouth like her brother is. Shanda Vander Ark also heard the boom of Tim falling from the bunk bed. Oh, you're talking about that case. Oh, that's another sick case with a sick mom that worked for the courts. Nice. I'm helping. I'm happy for you. Good luck. Thanks, Jules. Hi, Miss Persevere. Just popping in, but Sunny, did you figure out that Chris said he'd be willing to take a polygraph that he hadn't needed to at Quindelly based on his whereabouts? Well, like I said, Christopher said he took a polygraph test. Right? Mr. Christopher said he took a... See this right here? Mr. Christopher Proudfoot's Facebook? Have you both taken the polygraph test? And if so, what were their results? Thank you. Yes, and the results are passed. And I was like, I don't think that they usually tell you that you passed. It's kind of like, well, thank you for coming in and type of thing. Yeah, it definitely runs in their family. Anyways, let's just leave that one up. Okay, Christopher, you little freaking liar. Did you figure out that? Yeah, said he'd be willing. Yeah. So, well, let's see if Nancy holds him to it, right? Let's see if he, people are all good to say it, kind of like Miss Big Mouth Michelle Proudfoot there, if she is actually Michelle Proudfoot, right? They're all willing to bark and talk, especially in front of a TV. Let's see if he puts his money where his mouth is and actually takes the polygraph test, right? Considering he said he took it already. Yeah. Well, I don't do Facebook either. And I believe that it was either Aspen or Charmaine that sent it to me. Yeah. On there. Oh, and Charmaine, if you and Aspen want to do a Delphi live, you go right ahead. I got stuff to do tonight, to be honest. And Delphi is just not enticing me at this moment at all, to be honest. I didn't even look over the paperwork. I don't even know what came out today, actually. Lying runs in the family. So yeah, I'm gonna go back over this entire interview because I know what they've said, in the previous interviews. In fact, that's what I was doing. Was doing that yesterday, but let me just see if I can. Okay, so let me see what Katie says, because so Katie made breakfast. They were laughing and joking, and Sebastian talked to family during the breakfast to brag, whatever he was bragging about. Katie got a call and went and picked up their niece. They did that, and then they went to BJ's and ate a colossal popcorn. Came home, put groceries away. So she's inconsistent in that story right there. So they came home, put groceries away, went to the bowling alley, and then went for dinner. Okay. I'm trying to remember exactly what she said. on the thing. Maybe did she say it that way? You guys have to go back now. Because Colossal Popcorn got groceries, went back home, then the bowling alley, and then went to dinner. That Sebastian took the trash out to the end of the driveway at some point between the time they got home and 9 p.m., said to go to bed. An hour later, heard noise, said, I don't care what you're doing, but go to sleep. And about midnight, she went to bed. I got to go back and listen to it. I need to hear every little ounce of what they said. She asked if she was going to be in Memphis, and he said he couldn't. Okay. Oh, yeah. What about that about Mr. Liar, huh? Huh? You guys hear that, right? So he was on Mrs. Smiley World's, right? Said he almost got fired from his job, but worked things out. Nancy asked him, like basically, he said something about that he wasn't working, right? And how did he say it exactly? The first time he was asked something about work, he said he wasn't working. And we're like, wait, what? So you did lose your job or whatever? And she's like, oh, well, I mean, I can understand that. You've been gone for a while. Then he says he's working, that he was working on a job at St. Jude's and that he's whatever. See, because he's lying. Whether he's lying because he doesn't want people to know where he is, maybe he's probably still at the hospital working. But no, let's say we're over here. They're in the freaking camper that they took. So what are you saying? Yeah, well, we're staying in a, yeah, the one that you're sitting in, dude. Yeah. That was a lie. I just got to go back because I know that there was probably more lies in there. But shame. Bus, bowling, and then dinner. BJ's, I think you meant, right? Yeah. Picked up, they got a call. She got a call to pick up the niece. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay. It pissed me off. Yeah, like, for me, that's just huge. How many of you guys think that that's huge? The fact that he lied about the polygraph test. I mean, it's right here. He says he took it. Right? Is his ego that big? Like, he thinks that if he says he's passing the polygraph, that somehow people are going to be like, oh, you know what? You're good to go now. We believe you. You know what? Yeah. You think he was doing it for because nobody would act. Well, the people that would know would be the police. So I made sure that I tagged them in the Twitter post. The Metro PD and Nashville News. Good fight, Christopher. I'm going to make sure that they see this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I sent it to Nancy Grace. Not sure. Not sure actually. Oh, winning lottery tickets, please. Yes. I have to really go back to this and see. How many interviews have they done on YouTube and Facebook? Nah. They've probably done around 5, maybe 5 that I know of for sure. Right? They did. I'm trying to keep order of the ones that I know because I'm pretty sure okay, let's talk about it for just a second. Tell me if I'm missing anything. First one was Duchess. I'm going to sneeze. Second one was, okay, let me just sneeze 1 second. He's a contractor. He sits in that thing about 200 feet up in the air there. Well, I think the sneeze is gone. Hold on. Okay, let's talk about this again. Duchess, WSMV. Caitlin Miller from Fox 17. Chronicles of Olivia. Okay. Then Smiley World. And then Nancy Grace. So as far as I know, that's 6. Does anyone know of any other ones that they've done? Because Seth Rogers is hard to keep track of. Because he's kind of like up there, over there type of thing. He's been on Pascal. He's been on, I don't know, a few of them now. But It's more the Proudfoots that I'm trying to keep track of mostly. Because the bottom line is that Seth only knows so much. The answers that we need are truly mostly from Katie and what's Donkey's name again? Christopher? Yeah. Frickin' Pinocchio. Yeah, Deets on the Streets has them in order. Yeah, well, I can message her on Twitter, but because that was the order of them, but I'm just not sure if I'm missing any. I don't know. I don't think I am, but still want to know. As Kitty and Chris said, sent from house to pawn. Cajun. What? How could I know? How does things just get mixed up? But I like how Nancy put that guy right on the spot and said, "You know what? Let's just cut to the chase." That's me. That's me. You know what? Cut the bullshit. Get right to the point here. You know. So, did it have anything, or did it not have anything to do with Sebastian? Nope. Okay. Thank you. Now we know. Done. Okay. They're in Mississippi. Yeah, are they in Mississippi? They're reporting. Well, you know what? I mean, unless they're gonna hide in their freaking tent, freaking fifth wheel over there. Deez has more than I knew about. Yeah, I'll ask her. Because they haven't done that many. Like they've done 6, but I don't know. Did they do it? No. Anyways, I'll ask her. Nancy Gray's interviews with Sebastian's bio dad and his step. Wonder if Ekmel's going to know it. Somebody in his chat's going to be like, you lied. He said he took a polygraph and he didn't. If the YouTubers and TikTokers show up at St. Jude with pitchforks and torches, oh God, they're going to go. They can all go straight to HELL. Family at St. Jude's are dealing with enough and should not be subjected to foolishness. I know you have to have some boundaries about things, eh? You know? Please go live tonight at Charmaine. Yeah, Charmaine, did you and Aspen want to do a live tonight? I gotta get stuff ready for Wednesday in a sense, and I don't want to leave it to the last minute. I need to go like reread over, like, you know, the things that you're supposed to do. Like you're supposed to, I think, fill out something every day to say if you're sick or not sick or something like that. I know that's. I think I got to go download an app. I got to turn off the camera. I keep yawning. That's priceless. Yeah, they're not gonna get too far. Yeah, Shemaine. If you want me to set up a live for you and Aspen to do Delphi, you're the more than welcome to it. I know that Charmaine especially. I am so Delphi. I don't even know what came out today. I don't even know. I didn't look. I saw that there were some documents. I didn't even wake up thinking about Delphi, to be honest. Been thinking about Mr. Little Sebastian over here. Yeah. It broke my heart that he used a belt on his kid and then couldn't even remember the reason. Of course he knows the reason. Okay, he's a slug. Christopher, you're a lying donkey. That's what you are. You're a little slimy slug. He's one of those people, but he's not good at it. He's one of those people that he likes to talk a talk, but the thing is that there's people that come across believable, and then there's people that, you know, that they ooze from them that you are like, oh, you're a little bit of slime there, aren't you? They're a narcissist. That's how I read Chris. He kind of is like, Katie, you know, and then all of a sudden his mouth opens up, and then you're just like, oh, there you are. It's not hard to spot those type of personalities, what they try to portray. But I like the fact that in Nancy's hot seat, you know, hey, I don't recall you saying to Nancy, Chris, hey, Nancy, you're going to make sure every ounce of your money that you make off your that video is going to be donated for Sebastian. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure that Christopher said that, you know what, nobody's going to have me on their live and then try to, monetize and take money off of it. Like, basically, I'm giving you the clicks and views, so it's basically your honor to have me. That's really pretty much what he said, right? Like, it's your honor to have me in here. And that's why it would piss me off too, because I was like, you know what, back it up, son, because honestly, anyone covering your stepson's case, you should be grateful for. Who gives a fuck about if somebody gets super chats or anything, And I like it. Are you guys been out there searching? Yes, we have. Needle, freaking 0 to 100. Liars. You're pretty much probably folding the paper in half, making paper airplanes, and being like, oh yeah, we're just distributing freaking flyers here. That's how they come across. I had a belt slipper locked in the cellar. Never laid a hand on my children. Yeah, PTSD isn't nice. No, it's not. Please don't share about 710. Wait, what? Oh, please share about. What do you mean about 710? Like, are you talking about in the morning? Wait, which part are you talking about, Elizabeth? The 710 part. There's, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it's called holding a couch down, but now it's holding an RV down. Bossy, no, I don't, but I've watched all interviews. Let me just think here. Yeah. Someone keeps mentioning 710. Seven10 is an online snuff type videos. Yeah, I'm not really sure what somebody's referring to when they're saying 710. I mean, 6:30, the cops are called, 6:10 pretty much. She goes to go look for him at 6 o'clock. He's not there, searches really quick, gets in her vehicle, drives down to the school to look for Sebastian. Chris dials the police while she's talking to him, saying, because she's still on the phone with him, I guess. But anyways, and then she goes back home. So I don't know what 710's all about. Yes, I thought she said at what time they called 911. It's at 6:30, and it was already said by the police. The police said 6:30. They got a phone call around 6:30. Yeah. And why wouldn't he get his bio dad and tell him to? Right. Like I said, there's just something missing here. Somebody's lying about something. Do you think it's the polygraph liar? You guys think it's the polygraph liar that's lying about something? I think it's the polygraph liar that's lying about something. He's the one that keeps lying. We don't know about her so much, but he kind of is clear as day, just anything that comes out of his mouth. It's like, are you sure, Chris? Especially when he's lying now, but especially after the polygraph test. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. There's something just off. Whatever it is, there's something off. Sebastian had to leave, like, do we honestly believe that an abduction, somebody just came up to the front door and walked in and said, look, kid, I'm abducting you. Oh, my husband's here. 1 second. Okay, you guys, just give me a second. Talk amongst yourself for a sec. I just gotta go to the washroom really quick. Mark, did Charmaine ever answer you? Charmaine, did you ever answer us? If you and Aspen were gonna do a live on Delphi, by the way. Let me take this down for a sec. I'll put this back up. Just so that at least we have, instead of that lying guy's face, or info. Okay. To me, this is like Candace Wells lies. Summer only out of her sight for 2 minutes and then disappeared. Yeah, that whole thing was twisted in itself, wasn't it? That one gave me a headache too. The Summer Wells one. That one was, I don't even know what to say about that one. There was an argument and a boy may even have said he was going to leave and she ignored him. Just a speculation. I know. They have not had anybody searching for Sebastian. The one that has crews out looking for, right, which is the Cajun, right. I mean, the guy from the Cajun Navy clearly said that Seth Rogers. Oh, but it was up to Aspen as well. Wow. I'm sure Charmaine will talk to Aspen in the Facebook Messenger there. Let me just see if they're talking amongst each other. First day back to work, so I haven't looked hardly at anything, but here's, oh, thanks, Aspen, I found it. Yeah, ended up finding it. Actually, found it back on Twitter. It's missing from the Proudfoots. It's up to Aspen. Well, ask Adam in the group chat there, Charmaine, because then I'll have to set up the live for you guys. He said if I had to guess, it would be about 6:20. Sounds like I specified time. Yeah, I just know that the police had said 6:30. Somewhere in there anyway, right? At Sunny, she was on the couch in the living room where you can see both. Well, that's the thing. But the thing is that, you know, that's 2 hours and something minutes. So she was on the couch then, because that's the way it sounded, right? So I mean, how does one bypass his own mother, you know, and then make noise to boot, and she doesn't hear anything? I do wonder what that thump was at 10 o'clock. Why is Chris referring to Seth as bio dad, like he doesn't have a name? Oh, okay, wait. Okay, but I thought she said a later time. Well, I've watched Olivia's interview yesterday. So they don't really talk about times, I don't think, because I would have put it down. Anything to do with the time, I would have put it down. Because I literally watched Olivia's last night and I put down everything of importance from it. Yeah, but I don't really think that they gave any time besides the continuous at 9 o'clock. I sent him to bed type thing. Crime. Hi, crime. Also, with the 2 dogs, they never say that they took them out potty. Right. They just, like I said, there's, you know what? Seriously, if this was me giving that interview, and I'm going to have to go back and listen to this whole interview again, you know, I would want to know every detail from start to finish. So how long, were you at this place? Just get every detail, right? Where did you go to dinner? Right? What time did you arrive back from dinner? Like just everything. Like how long was your phone call? It's one thing for Christopher to answer, and it's another thing for her to answer. But by now, I mean, they would have their stories, probably the same. But anyways, pics. What pics? Is there a picture where they show his shoes? Because we can't. I mean, we can't take any pics from the home video because that's somebody else's home when they live there at the same address. So, was there a picture of, like, you're not going by the video, right, Betty H? Because that's like a virtual tour of a staged home from the previous owners. Nails on a chalkboard, that too. Also, this is the first time Mom said 10 p.m. Not only did she hear something and called out, but that the boy answered. Right. The part where it said that he answered her back. She kept saying what she said, but she never said that she had talked to him back. Like I said, she really wanted to harden the timeline. That was and right. And so that's why I was like, ask the mom during the conversation when you were talking with Christopher, did you move about? Were you in the living room? Because if you were in the living room, you would have saw Sebastian go out that front door. The furniture that they're going to have to set up, they're not going to be placing their couch facing the outside window. It's going to either come in from the side, or come in facing the door. Yeah, this person that came in put their name as Michelle Proudfoot. I wouldn't be so proud, Miss Proudfoot. Maybe proud of having a big mouth, I guess. I like it, it just pisses me off when someone comes in here, whatever. I mean, I get it. She's just beaking off at the mouth, but trust me, by no means is she doing her brother any favors if it is her brother, right? Meaning if she is the sister. Like, no one wants to hear another big mouth Proudfoot, right? Accusing people of this and that. No. Pretty sure it's Christopher making himself look that way. And she was making herself look the exact same way. So if she wants to claim that she's Christopher Proudfoot's sister, Michelle, and stuff like that, and hey, Michelle, if you're watching right now, you little troll, then honestly, because she didn't message me back, so I don't give a shit, right? I'll message you if you want to talk off air. I'll talk with you. Yeah, shut the front door. You honestly think I was gonna expect an email back from her on there? But it's kind of like, again, if she wants to do damage control, that's when you go into creators and try to say shit. That's not gonna happen. In fact, you're making it worse for your own brother. So she needs to have a cup of STFU. She thinks because he's in black, he wouldn't be seen on Ring when it's dark outside. Yeah, but the thing is, let me tell you this. Okay, here, let me pull up a couple pictures for a second. And I'm going to say thank you to JLR because that's where I grabbed him from, was his video, because he was doing a drive-by. He only did more of a drive-by, though. He didn't really stop. Let me pull up a picture of exactly this front house and how it looked. And this is from JLR, like literally just a couple days ago here. Okay. So it might be dark, right? Granted. But you see any big bushels, Christopher Proudfoot, that Sebastian is really going to be here? Let me bring it in more for you guys. Okay. Do I have a better picture than that one? I probably do, actually. Let me grab a better one. I feel like I have a better one. Yeah, I have a better one, I think. Dun, 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 dun. Why am I singing Christmas carols? Can you tell I like Christmas? Stop screaming. I'm just going to put a big Pinocchio. Is that the one? There we go. Okay. So this is what their home looks like as of the other day. With the fifth wheel back there. But anyways. Okay. What exact big bush that if he went out his room was going to poke him? Because that bush, here, let me bring it in even closer. Okay, let's just get a real close up there, right? Go out the window. Oh, you mean that little baby porcupine bush right there? Ouch, right? So the person that has the camera, from anything I've been told, it's not the one directly across the street. It's the one that is angled to it, not the one on the higher. And it can see the garage and the front door. Okay. So she's claiming that, so this door has a padlock. We all know that the inside, there's these two big massive doors that just kind of allow you to see the front door. So if she's sitting in that living room and he has to come out from that inside thing, whatever. Yeah. And so I know that Sebastian's room is in the front, but she actually didn't even ask that. She just said in relation. So where, she said something like where is yours in relation to Sebastian's or something like that. Room in and yeah, you're talking about over here. 1 second. You're talking about the one that JLR put up. But that could be floodlights though, in all fairness, because it was right here. And that could actually just simply be floodlights and not a camera, because it's kind of like that home that took the footage of what they say is flashlights. There's what looks like a camera on the wall, like in the middle, but it's actually floodlights. And I think that those are floodlights. I mean, I'd like to see a lot closer up pic, because it's very easy to think that something looks like a camera, especially in a picture, unless you're like personally there looking at it. On the corner, Sunny, they switched. On the corner, Sunny, but they were switched. Oops, where'd you go? Off, including security. Is that what they said? I gotta go back and listen to this interview. Yeah. Aren't there any bushes on the right side? Nope, there's no bushes on the right side. It's just a couple of trees. There's no bushes. Yeah. It's like his bedroom's right there. And the other window is higher, and like it's a higher one. He wouldn't be climbing out of that. Let me just see. I know I have a picture. I think this might be the best one. Let me see. Why am I singing Christmas carols? See? Right? Like 2 midget windows, I think, perhaps, that are there. That might not even be windows. But that's what's on the side. And that's current. You see a damn dome camera, 2 windows along from the one you say could be a floodlight. So yeah, so that's the side. Do you see a dome camera, 2 windows along from the one you say could be a floodlight? No. You're talking about by the garage? You talking about at the garage, Angel? Yeah, it's a bathroom window, probably, crime. Yeah. Yeah. Open up this picture, Angel. Like this picture. That one goes as far as that. Like That's too blurry. Like most of these houses have floodlights on the sides of their homes. The one you had before. Well, I had 3 open. You're trying to give me a headache, aren't you? I feel it. This one? You talking about this one? This one? Like on the jutting out bit right hand side. The right hand side. No. This is the right hand side. That's just an eave. These are floodlights right here. Because you can tell it goes both ways. And same with this. There's 2 things there. So to me, those are floodlights because like maybe this is a camera here. I think this is where actually JLR might have been pointing to, was a dome one right here. Is that what you're kind of referring to, perhaps, Angel? Like, I think right there is a dome one. Well, those little lights right there. Lights right here. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, it's so easy to see something. Right? It is hard. It's like you look at a picture and you think it's nice and clear. But honestly, you need someone to stop in front of. They're away, JLR. They're away. Oh, hold on, CJ. I'm gonna ask CJ. Because he's out there today. I'm gonna message him. See what's up with CJ. Zoom right in. Well, then it just gets blurrier. Which picture am I on? I think I'm on this one, right? Where am I zooming into? Here? Am I zooming in here? Is this what you're trying to say? Is that what you want me to zoom into? Yeah. Again, I get what you're saying, but I've been tricked by the eyes before, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask CJ if he's still out there or if he's going to be out there tomorrow. I'm going to ask him if he saw the cameras on the home. Anyways, you know what though? I'm going to need to get going, I suppose, because Aspen and I think Charmaine are going to be doing a Delphi live here. So I'm going to have to get that live ready for them, guys. They say the outside lights, there are 2. And there are 2 on the outside of the garage. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go back and listen. I'm gonna talk to CJ as well. Like GLR did a drive-by. He didn't physically stop. He just drove by. Right, Shelby? Yeah, there are lights on the garage. Like there's some on both sides, actually. Floodlights. Because there's some on the back side of the house, too. But yeah, I seen them in a better pic. Yeah, I'd like to have a better pic because, again, it was raining when JLR was driving by. So it's like taking it from a video to a photograph. Stop talking like Dawn and Candace Wells. Betty, are you okay? You okay, Betty? I have no clue what that even is supposed to mean. Yeah. You might want to explain that comment there, Betty H. Sounds like you're yelling at somebody, and it doesn't come off sounding too good. CJ's went live on location. I'm gonna have to message him. Yeah. Anyways, so basically, the Proudfoots might be persons of interest. Well, they're not cleared like you think that they are. Apparently, Karen, the police have cleared them. Yeah. I'm just kind of curious. I'm just kind of curious what Betty meant there. That was sarcasm. Apparently, Karen, the police have cleared them. Right? Yeah. What a freaking liar, though, eh? Like that one's, I mean, to me, that one should take the internet by storm. You know, people are just looking to pounce on him anyway. And he just gave them a huge reason to be pounced on, to be honest with you. I think Betty thinks the Proudfoots sound like the Wells. People were talking about that earlier in chat. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But that's probably most likely. I wouldn't have known that, though. I was like, she better not be telling me I'm talking like Dawn and Candace Wells. Hell, I'm far from that. I'm curious about the camera at the firehouse on the Long Hollow Road. May have caught one of the licenses. Like Anne, that TBI and that they got pretty much probably everything around there besides finding Sebastian. I loved a man once. We were perfect together, but he didn't like my son. So guess what I did? Shocker, right? Mm-hmm. Not worth it, is he? Nope. There he is. He lied about taking the test to tell if he was lying. Yeah, I guess, eh? You know, kind of has that same kind of vibe shit going on. It's like you're pulling teeth to get answers. But yeah. Anyways, okay, you guys, I need to get going. Please give this video a like and a share. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. It was impromptu. I was just waiting for the Nancy Grace come out. I need to go get the live ready for Aspen and that for Delphi. And then I really want to go back over this video as well when I have time. Mark, thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat sticker. And yeah, so like I said, I'll see what's going on. Don't forget, so CJ Evo, let's just quickly grab his link there. Hold on, guys. Don't leave me. CJ. No. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna drop the link for CJ Evo. Okay, with the what's it called again? I always forget. I don't know why. He has his channel to me has a hard name to remember it. Really? Okay, there it is. Crime Concepts is because it's CJ's Crime Concepts podcast. So that he's live right now. He's going to be live coverage there for Sebastian as well. You guys, so if you guys want to go check him out live, but if you do, you make sure that you say it's a crime and shame sent you. Yeah. Anyways, so I dropped that for you guys. If you guys want to continue to watch, yeah, he's on location. Just make sure you say that. Yeah. Then he'll be like, "Oh, Sunny, she's so sweet ever." Anyways, you guys take care. We'll talk to you later. Again, I'll get the Delphi live ready. So whatever paperwork and stuff like that came out today. But anyways, God bless you guys. Have a great day. And we'll see you soon. Take care, guys. I just got to find my outro. There it is. Bye.